playing tonight a saz, also known as a bağlama. It's from Turkey, and mine was built in the beautiful town of Izmir. So if you go and look on a map, that's sort of like on the west coast of Turkey. And it's a big, big port, and it's an old port, and a lot of Libyan ships go there, buying all kinds of things like plastic buckets and ladders and cement. You know, the earliest one I've ever seen, like in a picture, is on a wall painting in the Valley of the Kings and Queens in Egypt. And you see all these musicians painted on the Egyptian walls, 3,000-4,000 years ago, and there's instruments that are pretty much exactly the same. The guys are sort of like, you know, those guys. That's it. Playing this thing called a saz. There are a lot of different types, you know. It's a saz. It's like it's a Turkish bouzouki, or a bouzouki is a Greek saz, you know. And actually, if you look at the really old ones, they're all very mixed up. All the ones were different. But in the last century, the 1920s, they started to make them Turkish or Greek. And now the good thing is the Greeks are playing sazes, and the Turks are playing bouzouki's.
So that's a hopeful...
yeah, of course it is. You know, they're beginning to get a bit friendlier after all the problems. There's a lot of tunings, all kinds of tunings you can get on a saz. And it's up to you, really. You get your instrument, you put the strings on that you can, that you like. Me, I play it in fifths, so it's like a kind of very low mandolin. So it's a G, a D, and an A. So that's nice when you're playing a slide. You always got that, like kind of bar chord sort of thing. But it's very long, you know, and the strings aren't very tight. They're quite floppy in a way, but you get quite a nice sort of jangly, sort of wavy sort of sound out of it because of that. It's quite long. It's almost as long as the bass, but it's not as high, not strong as high. And the pickups I've got on it right now are EMGs, and that's nice because they're very good, strong, and you don't get a lot of buzz because they're like a single pole. You don't get any buzz off it, and I like those EMGs. They're very old ones. And it seems to work. When I actually bought it, the pickups were homemade. And whoever did it, I just got bored after about 20, 30 winds.
So they stopped winding it?
And obviously it just sat on a wall and no one had ever played it because they thought, it doesn't work, it's rubbish. And I picked it up and I thought, like, hey, that's a good instrument. And then I looked at the pickups and went, put in the EMGs. And it works.
Now, EMGs, are they usually used for like acoustic stuff?
No.
I was thinking they're more electric.
No, they're electric. It is an electric instrument, but it's kind of semi-acoustic, that size. And which is very important. You have to have a bit of sound. You know, it affects the way the strings are. And there are a lot of solid sazes, but you know, I don't like them. I like having a bit of, it's like playing a semi-acoustic guitar. Like, I got an old Gretsch country gentleman, 1963. That's good. And if it wasn't acoustic, you wouldn't get the sound. You know?
Right, it's a totally different
so it's a different thing, yeah. A saz it's like a teardrop body. It's quite hard to hold. It's very long. It's quite hard to hold. Once you get used to that, then, you know, it's okay. Anyone who wants to get into saz, there's some really great saz players. And, you know, you get into Turkish music, some crazy electric guys and acoustic people. And, you know, there's a big amount of music that you can get into. And the good thing about it is, like when you're playing the blues, you have to bend a note, and you get these blue notes. On a saz, you get 3 or 4 frets in between the frets. So the frets aren't like metal; they're like bits of fishing wire wrapped round and made with a little knot. So you can move the frets to tune them, make them really sweet, get the note really sweet. So, you know, so there's a lot of different things you can do with it. I don't know; it's all right, you know. And I travel a lot, and I go to a lot of places, and there's great music everywhere in this world. And you'll always meet some nice musicians who are kind of open and want to play with you and interested. So, you know, get your backpack out, go somewhere, you know, just check it out, because some stuff is, if it's folk music that you know, but it's crazier than any kind of death metal or hip hop. It doesn't matter. You don't have to play world music if you want to. You know, if you can play rock and roll with it. You know, I put it through fuzz boxes and oud, and it's like, you can out Jimmy Page. Well, sort of, you can. You know, but you can.